So this particular nakshatra, Dhanishta nakshatra, is an active nakshatra basically, very active, very active, because Mars is the planetary ruler of this nakshatra. And one more thing is the infants, the children born under a strong influence of Dhanishta nakshatra are more active than other nakshatra, other infants, other children. Even they start to respond to music from a much earlier age than others. So this nakshatra likes to do some activity. They may not want to sit ideally. They want to do something. And it belongs to the farmer caste, and you may think it's a wealthy nakshatra. When you talk about Dhanishta, you talk about wealth, you talk about luck. And why ancient rishis segregated this into some farmer caste is nothing but the working class, right? So this relates to the fact that this nakshatra falls in the Saturn sign, one thing. So when you talk about agriculture, farmers and working class, the people with more activity and working for the society, then generally it is given to the Saturn, right? That energy. So whoever work for the society and also feed the society or continuously do some activity, they basically belong to Saturn. So that's why this particular nakshatra is segregated into farmer caste. So Saturn is a planet which actually represents the working class and farmers, people feeding the society by producing the agricultural products. So Dhanishta is involved in all farmer-like activities, creative activities, which deal with actual production of goods. It is a female nakshatra basically. So you may think it's odd considering the fact that all its presiding deities are male. This is because this nakshatra relates to the energies of the deities basically compared to the deities. Even though some of the deities are male, most of the deities are male in the Ashtavasus, but the energies, means the Shakti is involved with these Ashtavasus, always feminine. So it's a feminine force which presides over all creative arts like music and dancing even. Music and dance, nothing but Dhanishta. Dhanishta is nothing but music and dance. So it's no wonder then that all male dancers of the classical forms are quite feminine in their appearance and disposition. In India, if you observe, the classical dancers in their appearance and disposition, they behave with some feminine energy. The classical dancers. So because the dance basically involves the feminine energy, and the body parts relates to the Dhanishta energy are the back and the anus basically. The spinal cord, as we know, is directly related to the planet Saturn and the sign Capricorn. So when you talk about Capricorn, you talk about spinal cord. So the Capricorn energy, the planets present in the Capricorn are basically responsible for your spinal cord. So the Capricorn energy is basically related to the spinal cord. So the spinal cord, as we know, is directly related to the planet Saturn and the sign Capricorn. And when you talk about spinal cord, the Kundalini energy, right? And also when you talk about NS, you talk about the Kundalini energy. So the Kundalini energy rises from the area around the NS and travels upwards through the back to the top chakra on the head. So this is the only way for human beings to tune into the universal mind, awakening your Kundalini energy. It's the only way for human beings to tune into the universal mind. So, as discussed earlier, this nakshatra requires one to do that in order to express its qualities. So, this nakshatra requires one support for awakening a Kundalini energy. And it is primarily a fiery nakshatra. In Ayurveda it's called as Pitta nakshatra, due to its strong relation with Mars. So Mars, wherever Mars comes, you talk about Pitta, you talk about fiery energy. So that is the Dhanishta energy basically. So when you talk about Capricorn, you talk about spinal cord, and when you talk about Dhanishta energy, you talk about NS. So Dhanishta is the most active nakshatra, and Dhanishta always has the ability to tune into some source. If you observe, the ability to tune into some source is basically an excellent energy. The most important aspect of this is the source it tunes itself into. You need to understand to which source it is actually tuning itself into. So in the present day world, where media acts as the primary influence for the masses and provides them with the ever declining and degenerating standards of culture, music, dance, fine arts, etc., most Dhanishta energy people find themselves tuning into these unwholesome influences. So this is the reason why the higher expressions of this nakshatra, which come about by direct tuning in with the universal mind, are a rare happenings in the present society. So before they tune into the universal energy, they are getting attracted into these unwholesome energies. The present day's dance and arts forms are attracting the Dhanishta energy more. Means Dhanishta energy people are getting attracted to this kind of things, and they are getting lost in this kind of modern dance and modern music. But if they wait and if they try to be very slow in getting the tune, means the source to which they are actually going to tune into, if they are very slow and steady, then When the time comes, yes, they can clearly tune into the universal energies, and then the dance and music then they can produce can be very unique and can be in accordance with the universal functioning. Thanks for watching this video.